Welcome to a new video. Today we're going to start basically reviewing Duelist of the Abyss archetypes that got support. Now, Duelist of the Abyss is basically the next set that we're going to get in Legendary Duelist after Storm, and it's a pretty cool set that have the support for Shark, for Mecha Tsunami or Umi, I guess, and the support for Marine Sass, which I'm really looking forward to. In this video, we're going to talk about the Shark support. But before we jump right into the video itself, I'm going to remind you that if you want to see more videos like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It's helped out a ton. Let me know in the comments down below what you think I've missed, what do you think specifically you have also like as a question, and also give a like if you enjoyed the video. But without further ado, let's jump right into the in-depth review of the Shark support. So starting the review off, we're going to start things with a monster called Abyss Shark, which is one of the new monsters that we're going to get in Duelist of the Abyss for the Shark support. And this card says that if all monsters you control are water, minimum 1, you're able to activate the effect to basically lock yourself into only summoning water monsters for the rest of the turn, and also get the effect that your opponent take double damage from an attack involving a number monster in their monster. So it's kind of like a weird effect, but this is kind of like the two effects that you have to basically kind of like agree with, or just like, get them before you get the special summon from the card from your hand, and then you also get to search a level 3, 4, or 5 fish monster from your deck to your hand except itself. It also can be used as a level 3 and a level 4 for number exceeds monsters, so that is also pretty cool. So the idea for the card is just, it's a free special summon monsters that lock you into water, and it's search for you another combo piece, which is making this card already amazing. But the fact is, it's also giving you the nice benefit of just double damage for your next battle with number monsters this turn, which can also help you with OTKs. Now, there is also the idea that you can technically use this for a number monster, like, a rank 3 or rank 4 for number monsters, or even for a rank 5, because it's a level 5. But mostly what you're going to use it for is to summon one of the other monsters that we're going to talk about, which then going to give you into a number monster. Now, the idea is still fine, because there are some options for number monsters, water monsters, because like I said, this lock you into water. But there's not really a whole lot of good ones. Like, the only ones I can think about is like 101, like at the top of my head, and the new number 4 from Barian of Legends. Other than that, I think the card is still pretty good. I'm going to give this one a 5. It's a searcher, it's a free special summoner, it can modulate at level, it just does everything the deck want to do, so this card is pretty much the best card of the support, at least for like the overall Shark archetype. Next up, we have the Crystal Shark, which is the second shark that we're going to get in terms of main deck monsters. And this one is basically allowing you to special summon itself if it's in your hand or graveyard, but targeting any water monster on the field. And then you special summon, you cannot special summon monster from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except exceeds monsters, and you special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. So that is a really cool effect. You're able to get it like with a Foolish Burial effect. It can just special summon itself back every single time they control another water monster. And it's also can target your opponent water monsters to gain, to special summon itself, which is pretty cool. So it's just a reoccurring resource. And then the last part of the effect says that like when you basically summon it, the targeted monster lose, or should I say, attack becomes half. So it doesn't really matter when you're trying to exceed someone with it, but for the point is, like, if you're trying to use it for an OTK or whatever, you probably don't want to cut your own water monster in half if you don't use it for an exceed summon or whatever, because you are going to lose a little bit of an attack. But the point is, you summon this from the hand or graveyard, and then it's basically do that, and it's kind of have the same last effect as Abyss Shark, which can be used as a level 3 or level 4 for a number exceeds monster. So this card is pretty cool. I'm going to give this card a 3. I think it's a nice extender. I'm not going to say it's insane, but it's still a really nice extender from the hand or graveyard, so it's a recurring extender. However, I think you're mostly going to play 1, max 2, so that's why this card is only going to get 3 stars. Next up, we're going to move into the Exceeds monsters, and the first one out of the 2 Exceeds monsters that we got is Heth. Now, Heth require 2 level 5 monsters, and it cannot be destroyed by battle while you have a number monster on the field. Then the main effect of this card is that during the main phase, as a quick effect, you can detach 2 Xyz materials from this card, and then attach 1 number Xyz monster with number between 101 to 107 from your extra deck, so it could be even the C numbers, but mostly you're going to attach the originals, and then you can attach 1 other face-up monster on the field as a material. So that is pretty much the effect. I'm going to give this one a 4. I think overall it's a really great card, help you fix the number 101 to 107 problem, which was a pretty big problem, and now they kind of fixed it, and also you're going to see it with the next Xyz monster. But the point is, it's also a very, very nice interruption during either player's turn, because the point is that you are able to take any face-up monster on the field. It can even be your opponent monster. So it doesn't target. However, the only reason why I'm giving this a 4, even though it's a really, really good card in rank 5 decks, if you're able to summon it and you just need to put a number monster just to, you know, support the package, is the problem is that, how should I say this? You're only targeting the monster, you're not even negating its effect. So sometimes, like, it's depending on the deck. I might prefer to summon an Infinity, I might prefer to summon a Vamana, you know, the chronologically new rank 5, but it's still a very, very nice card for toolbox for rank 5s, or just in generally for this deck, so that's why I decided to give it a 4. I don't think it's a bad card, whatever, like, in any case, I think the card is great. It's just going to admit the problem that it's not always that amazing. It's definitely really cool in things like Eldritch that you have room in your extra deck. It just, I'm not 100% sure how good this is going to be. Now, if you have the room to play the entire package with this and the other card, then this card can become a little bit more powerful as a disruption and then as a follow-up if you want to. But it's really dependent on what you want this card to be. So that's something that I want to mention. Next up is Chaos Knight, which is the level, or should I say rank 6, which you can Xyz summon immediately with no rank ups, no anything, on an Aphil Ilsilisium Heth Knight, like, you know, the previous card, immediately as a material. You don't really need to do anything. It counts as Xyz, and you transfer its material to this card. And then this card cannot be destroyed by card effects, which is pretty cool. However, the main draw for this card is the following effect. To touch 1 Xyz material from this card, special summon from your extra deck 1 number Xyz monster with number between 101 to 107. That does include the C numbers 101 to 107, because it just have to have 101 to 107 in its text. And then you basically, or should I say in its name, and then you basically use this card, face-up card you control, as a material, with all of its materials transferred to the card. But you destroy the monster during your opponent next end phase, which is kind of like something that we should probably expect. Now, I'm going to just say that this card is a 3-star card. It's definitely a great card. It's not the card that carry you into the new, like, you know, use of C numbers 101 to 107. I think the card that definitely does that is Heth Knight's better. But the point is, you rank into this, and then you just use it as a material, which is pretty cool. So you have the ability to use some stuff. Unlike Heth Knights, it's a little bit less flexible, so that's why I'm only giving it a 3. But it's definitely a great card to help you fix the numbers 101 to 107, or at least the chaos numbers 101 to 107 problem, which that's why I like this card a lot. I think overall, this and Heth Knight just really help the entire package quite a bit. Then we're moving on into the spells, which are kind of just also kind of connected to Shark, although they're not really Shark support. They're technically connected to the character in the anime, so I think it counts as Shark support. But the first card is Barian Chaos Draw. And this card is going to receive 1 star immediately because of one particular effect that I hate. I know that there's some people who will say, look, this is a good effect, this is fine, but no, I think this is too slow right now, and it's just generally not going to be a good thing, whatever. The effect is that you can activate this card, you must draw it in your normal draw phase. That is my biggest problem with cards like this. Why? Why it has to be the Zexal epic moment kind of effect. I know I don't like Zexal, I don't really care about the Shining Droves and everything that people like. I just hate on effects like this that just limit the card use. This is just definitely limit the card use, and I kind of just... Why? It's just making the card pretty useless in the deck, and you just need to specifically draw it, which making the card pretty bad. However, the effects are not bad. If it haven't have this restriction, I would say the card is good, because the effect says that you can send 1 rank up magic, the 7th one, or 7th Emperor normal spell from your deck to the graveyard and apply that effect, basically on your main phase 1. And then the other effect allowing you to special summon up to 2 monsters from your deck, but negates their effect, and immediately after the effect resolve, exceeds summon 1 number exceeds monster using monsters you control, including all the summoned monsters. Again, not a bad effect, but the problem is, like I said, you have to draw this. For some weird reason, you have to draw this. I just don't like card like this, so that's why I'm going to give this a 1. I'm just going to say this and justify it all over again. The fact that it's so slow is the biggest crime of this card. It's definitely a great card for the deck. It could have been amazing, but no, we have to make this cool for the anime and just ruin the card overall. Now, again, I don't hate things that are cool like the anime, but this is one of those things that just... Why? I don't think it was never a cool thing, or a cool thing that like, oh, I draw this from the top of my deck, it's the top deck. Yeah, that feeling is pretty cool, but I don't really want to destroy an entire card for it. And you don't really need to do that, because normal draws are still top decks sometimes, so... I don't know, it's just kind of weird. I'm sorry I'm ranting about this card a little bit, but I just find it really useless. And then for the next spell, which in my opinion is a better spell, is Ascension of the 7 Emperors. And this card allowing you to either add to your hand or put on the top of your deck one of the following cards categories. Either a rank up magic, the 7th one, the 7th Emperor spell and trap except itself, a Barian spell and trap, or a rank up magic quick play spell to either, like I said, add it to your hand or put it on the top of your deck. And the point is, it's supposed to work with the previous card that we mentioned, as well as the rank up magic, the 7th one. But I think mostly if you are able to kind of use this, this is going to be used to search the trap or any other thing like that. So overall, I think the card is great. The problem is it doesn't really have the best of targets right now, even though you have the ability to use quick play rank up spells, which there are some pretty good ones, I guess. But like I said, the pool is a little bit too limited at the moment. The more 7th Emperor spell and traps that we get, the more rank up spells that we get that are good for this archetype, the more Barian spells and traps that we get could make this card even better. I'm going to give this card now a 2. I kind of don't really see a whole lot of people, when playing the Shark support, play this card, so that's why I'm counting this card as an okay. It's also have a very nice effect that when your opponent special summon a monster from the X deck, you get to banish this card and send 1 rank up magic from your deck to the graveyard, and this effect becomes that effect, which is again pretty cool. Or should I say from your hand? Sorry, not from your deck, from your hand. So that's kind of pretty cool. But like I said, the problem is that there's not really a whole lot of targets for this, so that's why I'm going to give this card a 2. I still think it's a pretty interesting card though. Then for the last card and the trap, we have Eternity of the 7 Emperors. And this card allowing you to target 1 Xyz monster you control, and that has a number monster that is either a number monster between 101 to 107, or have one of those in its as a material. And then use one of the following effects to either A, negate the effect of 1 face-up monster your opponent controls with equal or lower attack until the end of the turn, or detach all Xyz material from the targeted monster and special summon a number Xyz monster from your graveyard. Which is cool. I'm going to give this card again a 2. I think it's kind of not going to find a place in the deck, because the deck is not really going to run something like this, even though it is searchable with the spell. Like I said, the spell, like the previous spell, doesn't really justify to run this card specifically, even though it's really good, because the problem that, like, A, you still specifically need to have a 101 to a 107 or a monster with material, one of those is a material, and B, like, we don't really have enough good targets to justify the previous spell that I mentioned. Still, I think the card is pretty cool, and like I said, the more support for 7th Emperor we'll get in the future, the more support for numbers 1 to 107 that we're going to get, are going to make these cards very, very good. So keep an eye on these if we're ever going to get more support in some particular set that they want to just like give you the 1 or 2 cards of support that they feel that they want to give. But that's pretty much does it for the all over of the support. Overall, I'm going to say this right now, I feel the 4 monsters are the big draw here. The rest of the spells and traps and stuff like that are either just too gimmicky or just not that good. I think, like I said again, the monsters are the main draw for this archetype. And here a list that you can also basically use as like a base list if you want to. Basically, we use the support, like I said, the main deck monsters we got here, a little bit of the extra deck stuff from what I mentioned, as well as some cards from Eternity Code, from Brothers of Legends, and additional generically good water special summoning support, as well as a good shark support as an overall, and using the entire thing. So, hope this list can help you basically understand how to play the deck. But that's pretty much does it for the video and does it for the review as an overall. I think, like I said, overall, this is a really, really cool support. I just think they could have done a lot of better stuff with the spells and traps. I think like the spell and traps, like the two last ones are nice, they have potential. It just, the previous one is so bad that there is no chance for me to run, the 7 Emperor card to just basically search a bad card or just to search one particular card. It's just not really good enough in terms of the spell and traps department yet. So until we're going to get good cards, then that is not going to be that amazing. But that's pretty much does it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you do. Remember, creativity is the key in this game. Have a good day, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. And next review, just to mention, is probably going to be on the Mako Tsunami support cards. Bye-bye.